shut up a minute, will you? Now listen, that's tonight's heat over. But don't forget, because next Saturday night, there's another heat. And the winners of all the heats go forward to the grand finals at the Assembly Rooms. And now, while a distinguished panel of judges make up their minds, what about a bit of dancing, eh?
Well, only one group in it, I'd say, right, Bobby?
Definitely.
I mean, what have Culture Club got that that lot haven't, eh?
Talent.
Now, do I get the feeling that you lot and that lot over there aren't exactly what you might call blood brothers?
I forgive you that idea.
Oh, good. Because I'd hate you to think that would in any way influence our decision, eh?
Never crossed our minds, did it, though?
Goody, good, good. In that case, you'll not need me to tell you which group is going to the grand final, eh?
Knock it off, stupid.
Eh?
Leave the cases.
Why?
Just leave them, all right?
All right.
Gotcha!
Hey?
Yes. Coming back for the rest of it, were you?
Hey, come on, I was just nipping down the club, that's all.
Oh, really? On a Monday morning?
I'm not at school today.
Really? Right, try telling that to the police.
What?
Come on, my lad, you've done it
get
this
off.
time. Get in
Oh,
there,
I'm
go
telling
on.
you, nothing about
Get down
anything.
there.
Mate, will you tell him to stop pushing me
Pack
about,
it
idiot?
up!
You keep a civil tongue in your head, will
The
you?
pair of you! What's going on here, Derek?
What's going on, Mac? Is that we've just been burgled, that's right. No prizes for guessing who the culprit is.
What?
Burgled.
Yes, somebody's broken into our storeroom and made off with half the stock.
And, you reckon he's the one that did it, yes?
I've every reason to believe that he's up to his neck in it.
He's mad, mate.
Look, shut up! And what reason have you got to believe that, Derek?
Because I caught him hanging around that storeroom in what I can only describe as a highly suspicious manner.
With a big black bag marked swag, did he, Derek?
This is no laughing matter, Mac.
No, it certainly isn't, and, he certainly won't be laughing if what you tell me is true.
Oh, it's true, all right, yes. Well, it's only a matter of time, I suppose, before one of them came out in their true colours at last.
One of who?
I think we both know exactly who I'm talking about, Mac.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your story?
Look, all I was doing, right, was just walking past the place, and the next thing Inspector Clouseau here just jumped me and accused me of breaking an entry or something, that's all.
You just happened to be passing, right?
Yeah, right.
On your way to where, exactly?
Well, the club, of course.
Why, of course. I mean, for instance, what are you doing here this time on a Monday morning? Why aren't you at school?
Because I've got an appointment at the dentist at 12 o'clock, so I didn't think it worth going into school. So I thought I'd come down to the club and shoot a bit of pool or something.
Oh, yes, yes, likely story.
That is something that can be checked very easily, I suppose, Derek. So why don't we just phone the police and let them do that?
Yes, all right. I've got no objection to that.
Good! Right. You get yourself down to the clubhouse and you wait there until you hear from us, okay? Yeah.
Wait a minute, come on, come on, come on. Supposing he runs off.
To do what, Derek? Catch the next plane to South America or something? Go on, beat it.
Thanks, mate.
So that's it then. I'm transfer listed. Nobody gives anything. The fact it's my testimonial season.
Not necessarily.
How do you mean?
Well, why don't you call a team meeting? I mean, you never know. When the rest of the lads know what a raw deal you've had, they might start thinking enough's enough. Know what I mean?
And will you be there, boss?
If you insist.
Oh, yes, yes. Here's the one I was telling you about, Constable. The one I found lurking about.
That's a flaming lie.
All
Oh,
right,
yes.
son, all right. That's enough of that. Right, thanks, Mr. Cassidy. You'd just like to leave it with me now, sir. Filling's job, is it?
Hey?
At the dentist.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Well, so much for our so-called burglar-proof alarm system. I take it was actually switched on, was it, Derek, when you found this place this morning?
Yes, of course, Mr. Jones. But You know, to be absolutely honest, what I don't understand is how they managed to cut through that lock without triggering off the alarm.
I don't know. No great mystery about that, I wouldn't have thought.
I don't think you've listened to a word I've said, Mac. I told you just now when I came in here this morning, that alarm was still switched on.
It's all right. Well, they switched it back on when the crooks had cleaned the place out. There is no other way they could have got round it, right? Which brings us to these things.
Well, go on then, Sherlock. Amaze and astound us.
Well, it's pretty obvious to me. Whoever was sitting here was waiting for something. And by the number of fags he smoked, I would say for some considerable time.
Like what, for instance?
Okay. How about waiting for his mates outside to give him the all clear so that he could turn the alarm off and therefore they could start to break in?
Yeah, well, it makes a sort of sense, I suppose, except for just one thing. We throws a great big spanner right through it.
What?
Well, to do what you're suggesting, our man inside would have to be able to turn this alarm off, right? Yes. To do that, he'd need one of these things, wouldn't he? Something known in the trade as a key. Now, I take it I'm right in saying that this is the official key for this thing, right, Derek?
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Jones.
Something you keep on your person, presumably, at all times, except when you're locking the place and unlocking it, hmm?
Yes, yes, well, yes. Yes, normally, but I mean, not exactly all the time, Mr. Jones.
Eh?
Well, I mean, you know, I just can't always be readily available every time this place has to be opened up, can I? You know, so what I tend to do, what I normally do, is to leave the key in the actual alarm.
See ya.
Those of you that want to walk out, I'll back you up, right?
What do you want?
I was looking for Mike.
Yeah, well, you won't find him here. Now, clear off.
Hi, Beryl.
Oh, hi, Judd.
Oh, where's Mike?
He's gone into town for something. I'm sure he won't be long. Can I help?
Yeah, I just wondered if it's all right if I went there. See, I've seen that copper.
Sure it is. Oh, no. Hey, look, where's everybody going?
We're all going home, love. Make sure you tell the boss, won't you?
Home, this time of the morning? Hey, Mr. Gregg, what's going on?
It's a walk out, love.
About what?
Victimisation, they reckon.
I'd better go and see if I can find Mark.
Hello, is that Radio February? Sports desk, please. Hello, Norman, how are you? Oh, not so bad. Well, a bit better than things are down here, anyway. Seem to have got a bit of a strike on our hands. All the first-team players. Yeah. No, what they object to, apparently, is one of our longest-serving players being put on the transfer list. Without so much as a buy your leave. Bit nasty, Norman, isn't it?
So when are we going to get the stuff?
I told you, when it's safe.
Yeah, and when's that going to be?
Well, certainly not today with the fuzz crawling all over the woodwork down there.
So when then, Eric?
Tomorrow, when you finished at school, as soon as the Junior Supporters Club opens for business.
Yeah, I see.
I wish I did. Look, we got all this booze and fags stashed away down there where nobody would think of looking, right? Right. And what we've also got down there at the moment are big, fat, empty cases. Now then, what's one of the very clever ways in which you could use that situation to get your ill-gotten gains out of them?
Oh, put the stuff in the cases.
Brilliant. In fact, I wonder sometimes, Fleecy, how you've gone all these years without being spotted for that programme, you know the one? Mastermind.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Something wrong, Mac?
My, hasn't it gone quiet around here?
Do you happen to know what's going on?
Yeah, I know what's going on. I've just had all the details from our friendly local radio station. Come into the office. Well, it does have to be admitted they do have a certain point.
What point would that be?
The obvious one. Two players get involved in a fight, one gets ticked off, the other one gets slapped on the transfer list.
Look, you know as well as I do that wasn't the only reason that Knocker was put on the list. He's an assassin on the pitch and he's a troublemaker off it. And if it hadn't been that, it would have been something else.
Then what a pity we didn't wait for something else. Hmm?
What's that supposed to mean?
What the hell does it look like, Mac?
Never mind what it looks like. What concerns me is what it is.
And what concerns me, mate, is that we have a Milk Cup first-round cup time midweek and my entire first-team squad have just walked out on me.
If the first team won't play, then we will field the second team.
Oh, great. Terrific. Up to my armpits in debt, and you want me to commit Harry Carey in the first round of what could be the only decent money spinner of the whole season.
What else are we going to do?
Well, there is one thing we could do to cut the ground from under the one screaming victimisation. List Bobby Brent.
Oh, come on, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
What reason have I got to list Bobby Brent?
They were both fighting.
He was provoked!
That's not the point. It gets us off the hook! All right. Do you have a better suggestion?
Just one.
Well,
why don't I go instead?
Don't be stupid.
No one is being stupid. Look, the way I see it, it's either Knocker or me. And it's obvious you're not going to let him go if it means causing trouble with the rest of his mates in the first team. So I will solve your problem for you. I will go, and you can have my resignation on your desk the first thing in the morning.
You're flaming well doing it again. The minute anybody around here dares to suggest you might just be wrong about something, you immediately start waving your resignation under my nose. Now, you want to be careful, mate, because one of these days I might just be irritated enough to accept it.
Why don't you do us both a favour, Mr. Chairman, and do it now?
Don't push me, Mac. I'm warning you.
Like I said, first thing in the morning.
Problems?
From the sounds of it, World War III just broke out.
Beryl? Oh, come in here a minute, will you, Sid?
All right.
Now then, Sydney, how would you like to be the new manager of my football club?
And then Max stormed out.
Well, don't worry about it, Beryl.
Don't worry about it. I thought you lot were supposed to be big fans of Matt Murphy's.
No, what Boxer means is there's nothing new about any of this. Mac and Rasputin, they're always having rows, but they always come round in the end.
Well, will you tell that to Sid Greg or shall I? Because I've just spent most of the afternoon fixing up the office the way he wants it.
Sid wants
Greg's the new manager?
Yes.
Oh,
What are you talking about, Beryl? Well.
Well, what?
Well, that just makes me wonder, that's all.
Wonder what?
Well, everything. What are you talking about? I told you what happened this morning. I mean, this meeting I walked into and nearly got my head bitten off about. Well, there was Sid Greg right in the middle of it.
You know what I think, don't you?
Yeah, just what we're all thinking, I reckon. That Sid Greg stage managed this whole thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and when Mac and Rasputin had one of their now famous rows about it, things couldn't have worked out better for him, could they?
The slimy rotten toad.
Yeah, say that again.
The slimy rotten toad.
Oh, hello, love.
Hi.
Is Mac in?
Yeah, come through.
Oh, sir. Hi, Mac.
Sid, how are you?
What's about?
Would you like a cup of tea?
No, thanks, love. No, I only called in for a minute.
Sit down.
Oh, sir.
What can I do for you?
Well, all I really came round for was to say no hard feelings, I hope.
Hard feelings?
What about me taking over? Well, you didn't know, did you? That Rasputin had asked me to take over.
As a matter of fact, I didn't. No, Sid, no.
I'm sorry, I didn't realise.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I mean, why should I care who takes over? I'm the one who resigned, remember?
Yeah, well, but I'd rather it hadn't been me, though, you know.
Like I said, don't worry about it, Sid. And, good luck in your new job.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mac. Yeah, well, as I said, that's all I really came round for.
Yeah, it's appreciated, believe me.
So I'll be seeing you then. Soon, I hope.
I shall look forward to that, Sid, yes.
I'll see myself out.
Come in.
Coffee, Mr. Jones.
Didn't order any coffee.
Oh, didn't you? Funny, the girls in the cafe thought it was yours. Oh well, pity to waste it, eh?
Yeah, all right. Stick it down there.
Oh, you clumsy great nit.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Jones.
Sorry, I should think you are sorry. Well, don't just stand there, mop it up.
Right, yeah.
Not with that. Get some tissues from the other desk.
Oh, yeah, right, Mr. Jones, yeah. Oh, dear.
You do know what you are, don't you?
No, but I feel sure you're going to tell me, Mr. Jones.
Just get it cleaned up and get out.
All right, Mr. Jones. Anyway, at least the trouble's over down at the club, eh, Mr. Jones? Now that Sid Gregg's back. And I mean, well, 10 out of 10 for loyalty, Mr. Jones, for what he tried to do for the club. I mean, only this morning.
This morning?
Yeah. Being at that players' meeting like that. And no doubt he was trying to get him to see a bit of sense. And I mean, well, so they did decide to walk out anyway. At least Mr. Gregg did all he could, eh, Mr. Jones?
You're telling me that Greg was at that players' meeting this morning?
Oh, yeah. In fact, now you come to mention it, it struck me as being a bit funny, like him being there. Still, like I say, Mr. Jones, I'm sure all he was doing was what he thought was best for everyone, eh?
You wouldn't by any chance be trying to stir it, would you, Wurzel?
Stir it? Stir what?
Yeah, all right, leave that.
Yeah, there's just a bit more here,
No,
Mr.
no,
Jones.
that's all right. Just leave it. Get out.
Oi, Malta, you buy me a packet of crisps, please?
It's not going to be in the football team to make
Hey, Boxer, will you buy me a packet of crisps?
Sid Gregg's about 52,
Will you buy me a packet of crisps?
Please. It's pointless. I just can't.
Well, what did you tell him?
Well, not in as many words, of course.
How many words did you use?
Well, let's hope enough, eh?
Look, did you tell him our theory that Sid Gregg's behind this whole thing or not?
Well, if I had done, do you think it would have done any good?
What do you mean?
Well, listen, if you go along to your average adult and tell him something, chances are he's going to take as much notice of you as he would the cat. But if, on the other hand, you sort of put the idea into his head, with a bit of luck, he'll end up thinking it was his idea in the first place.
Yeah, so?
So, I've planted the seed, haven't I? Just see what happens.
Oi, Wurzel, will you buy me a packet of crisps, please?
Yep.
Oh, you wanted a word, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I did, Sid. Have a pew.
Ta.
Let's talk about this meeting, shall we?
Meeting?
Yeah, the one you called yesterday of the senior playing staff, after which the entire bunch of them walked out.
Meeting I call, Mr. John.
Telling me you didn't?
Look, there was trouble brewing. Somebody had to do something.
I agree with you. And one of the things you could have done was get in touch with Mac Murphy and warn him about it. Another was come to me. But you decided not to do either of those two things. Instead, you called a meeting of the players and, by the sounds of it, made things worse.
Knocker Clark stands to lose thousands of pounds if he's transferred away from here during his testimonial season.
Knocker Clark won't lose a penny out of the move. You have my personal guarantee on that. In fact, it'll be money well spent just to be rid of him. Because his kind of football isn't welcome around here anymore. Now then, Sydney, why don't you call another of those cosy little meetings of yours and tell him that? And while you're at it, you can tell him and the rest of the first team that nobody is being victimized and nobody is going to lose any money. And if that still isn't good enough for them, you can tell them from me, they can all go on the list.
What about me? Where does that leave me?
Well, you're perfectly welcome to stay, Sydney, as deputy manager. We wouldn't want you running around screaming victimization, would we? Unless, of course, you were thinking of resigning on principle. Hmm?
You'll be hearing from my solicitor.
I had a feeling I might.
You're a bit early, aren't you? Finals aren't for ages yet.
Yeah, we came to pick up our cases. All right.
Yeah.
Look, Knocker, I'm sorry I couldn't do more for you.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us, don't it?
Well, at least you won't be losing anything through it. Besides, a new club might be good for you.
Do you think that's what it's about, eh? Do you?
What do you mean?
Look, that Scotsman, He had it in for me from the minute he walked through the front doors of this club. Right. Right, well, now I have got it in for him.
Right, come on.
Oh, this is all I need. Hello? Quick.
You have still got the key, haven't you?
What do you think?
Hey, you lot. Yeah, you. Come here a minute.
Leg it!
Well, well, well.
Yeah, hello, is that the police? Well, look, I've got some information for you about some stolen goods. Yeah, some cigarettes that were nicked from Dunmore Football Club.
Everywhere you go, everything you see, someone say you know it's a tragedy. Find another place, 'cause you can't play here. Don't want it.